Welcome into beautiful UCCU ballpark on the campus of Utah Valley University, the site of the 2022 5A Baseball State Championship Series on KSLSports.com, your home for online championships. Commentary brought to you by Game Night Live Rewind. And as always, we're brought to you by Heidemann Associates and Western Governors University. Dusty Lister with you. So glad to have you along with us on your Memorial Day weekend, celebrating graduation, celebrating those who have fought for us and defended our freedoms. And we hope you enjoy the broadcast tonight of our nation's pastime as Olympus and Lehi in the 5A Championship Series. Remind you, it's the best of three. So play game one tonight, and we'll go to game two, potentially game three tomorrow. We'll have those for you right here on KSLSports.com. Pitching for the Lehi Pioneers is Mays Madsen. Get used to hearing the names Madsen, as he is pitching to his brother, Maddox Madsen, the future Boise State Bronco quarterback. And leading things off for Olympus is the center fielder, number 5, Mick Paul. And that pitch misses there from Mays. So 1-0. Of course, the Madsens, Mays, Maddox, Gwynn, and McGuire, all brothers. Sons of UVU legendary baseball coach Eric Madsen, also CEU legendary manager back in the 90s and early 2000s before coming to UVSC, now UVU. And his coach on the staff of Coach Ingersoll, as that pitch misses and the count goes to 3-1. And the 3-1 pitch roped into right field, and it's a leadoff single for the Titans as Mick Paul is aboard. And that's going to be the biggest thing to get started in these championship games and series is who settles in the earliest, and it's getting guys on and keeping pressures on. And one thing we've learned for the last few years about Olympus baseball, these guys know how to swing the bat. So now bring up the left fielder, Ashton Johnson. Johnson, chopper to the left side, going to be taken in the hole. Try to go short way. Didn't have a chance there. We'll see if they go hit or fielder's choice. I think he reached on the hit. That's the way I would go with that. Gwynn didn't have a play at first. So it'll be runners on first and second as the first two are on. That's what I'm going to go. I'm going to go, that's an infield single. He didn't reach because of the throw. If he'd thrown at the first, he'd have been safe. So back-to-back singles in my book, bringing up the first baseman, Jacob Faust. And Madsen gets him to wave at the breaking ball on strike one. Mays just a freshman. And a nice job of, he did not hold up. They say strike two. Called down to first base. Umpire said, yes, he did. Could have gone either way, at least seemingly. We won't pick on umpires too much tonight. I got Trent Allred sitting just to the left of us. As the 0-2 is balanced and the count goes to a ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 swung on strike 3. No drop, third strike with runners occupying bases. So one away for the Titans. As Madsen gets him to go down on the breaking ball. And that'll bring up Luke Affleck. What can Affleck do for Olympus with the runner in scoring position here in the opening inning? And that's called strike one. A few things you'll hear me talk about this weekend. Number one is pitchers getting ahead in counts early. Get on top, stay on top. And the other part is dealing with 7, 8, 9 hitters. Big tells and big keys to both these teams. And in any game, really, but especially in a championship setting. Is that one back through the box? It gets into center field. They're going to send the runner home. And Affleck comes through. No chance there for Zach Evans, as that's an RBI single, and the Titans are on the board. Beautiful piece of hitting there by Affleck. Not trying to do too much. Took the pitch where it was. Back up the middle. And the Titans are going. So stay the runners on first and second, as that brings up the catcher, Corbin Sanchez. Madsen gets a fastball by him. Snap back to second. No, he did not. Good hands there by by Gwynn. Didn't have the tag on him. And you usually get the better look going second base on that throw to second on the pickoff move. And now the 0-1 is past Maddox. So runners will advance to second and third, and now a big knock opportunity here for Corbin Sanchez. So Mays with some stressful pitches in the opening inning. And a swing and a miss, strike two. So count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 lifted into shallow center field. Evans coming in on it. Probably going to have a play. They're not going to test the arm. Oh, they got a guy hung up between second and third. Brousseau throws home. Maddox going to run him back to the bag. And he's safe at third. Maddox played that right. I mean, everybody didn't say he should have got the out, but biggest thing, get that guy back to his bag. No need to keep it moving. Worst case scenario, you give up the run. So worst case scenario in that situation, you get him back to third, and you got 2 away and the out at the plate. Brings up Jackson Godfrey with 2 outs and 2 on. But you young baseball players watching this, if you got a guy in front of you, you've got to see what he's doing. You can't assume. Your dad will tell you what happens when you assume, but Affleck, totally assuming going on the throw, he was just trying to draw the throw. As that one swung on for the first strike. If you've got a runner ahead of you, you've got to see what he's doing there. And fortunate that Affleck didn't run Johnson off for the 3rd out of the inning. And the 1-1 misses. Did not miss by much. Huge opportunity here for the Titans to get up 3 runs. Waves at that one on the inside. Nice pitch by Mays Madsen. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and 2 on. That one chopped in the box, so we're going to dead ball. And we'll do it again at 2-2. So again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. To Jackson Godfrey, the right fielder. 2-2 back to the screen. We'll do it once again. How many foul balls they had here at UCCU? Well, BYU all week long at the 6A tournament. The first day, we used 13 dozen baseballs, 156. I know everybody's on summer break. I want to do the math for you. As that one misses up and out, and the count goes full. We had multiple double-digit foul ball at bats. Unreal. So the base open, full count, 2 outs, 2 on. Madsen got him to swing it. Is Godfrey able to fight it off, and we'll do it again. J.D. Olson is on deck. If Godfrey can work the walk. And again spoils the payoff pitch. And again, the 3-2 swung on and missed. Madsen gets out of the jam, but Olympus strikes first. It was an RBI single from Luke Affleck, plating a run for the Titans. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Lehi coming to the plate. You are watching the 2022 5A State Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. Bottom of the first inning, Dusty Litster with you here. The game 1 of the 5A Championship Baseball Series on your new home for high school championships, KSLSports.com. As always, we're brought to you by Heidemann and Associates and Western Governors University. May 2022 the year of you. Leading things off for the Lehi Pioneers is shortstop Gwyn Madsen. And on the hill is Sam Creer. As Sam finds strike 1. His brother Harry is a Olympus Titan legend. State championship basketball player on the undefeated team from a couple years ago. Also led Olympus to a 5A title appearance his senior year. As Olympus was undefeated going into the state tournament, lost to go all the way through the loser bracket in the old setup. Got the championship game, just did not have enough power to go. And that one misses wide the plate. The count now goes 2-1. And Gwyn, part of the brothers Madsen of Maddox, Mays, McGuire, and Gwyn to go along with their brother Mick. That one wide the plate. 3 balls and a strike. First, Lehi led by Coach Ingersoll, the younger brother of Jared Ingersoll, the manager of the American Fork Cavemen, who we'll be seeing next as Mays earns a leadoff walk, and so both teams get the leadoff man aboard. Olympus was able to plate their leadoff man. Jake Olson's the pitcher. I kept saying Mays Madsen. It's Jake Olson. As the pitcher Olson looks at strike 1. So Jake looking to help himself out. I'm sure Twitter and Instagram realized I had that wrong. And there's strike 2. I'd love to blame intern Preston, but he had nothing to do with it. I did my own book today. Even Vince Francis couldn't save me on that one. So no balls and 2 strikes. At least I'm not singing in between innings that you can hear anyway. Back through the box. And out put runners on first and second as Jake Olson puts Madsen in scoring position. And that will bring up one of the best athletes in the state of Utah, and someone that I can't wait to talk about, and we're going to get a chance to, and that is Jackson Brousseau, the championship quarterback of the Lehi Pioneers. In the future, currently, until he gets a better offer, Colorado State Ram, committed to go play at CSU in Fort Collins. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the state, not just for next year, but this year. A multi-sport athlete, the way it should be. Is that one off the plate? We always have people say specialize, baseball, like basketball, everything. Here's an outstanding athlete, Jackson Brousseau. Multiple sports. And a chance to pick up the game-tying run. That one wide the plate. Didn't want to be too dramatic in the first inning, but always good to respond. You got a high-powered offense over there with Olympus. So 2 balls and no strikes to Brousseau. He requests time and is granted. Of course, Jackson was our 5A Offensive Player of the Year. And the 2-0 pitch. What's he doing? Ask for time again here. Now they're finally going to try to throw back to second. That goes in to the outfield. Madsen will move to third. So now the heads up base running from the kid who got way too much credit at the top of the first inning, and Mace Madsen. Or probably that was Gwyn Madsen. There's too many of them. Gwyn moves to third. And it's runners on second and third. Luckily, I know his parents. Their parents. All of them. So Jackson with a chance to put Lehi ahead. Looks at ball 3. Got to put it on a tee. Nowhere to put him. Well, Creary does have a base open. And he misses there. So it is bases loaded and no outs. As it brings up the 4-hitter. And we'll have a quick consultation before that. Remind you that if you have any legal questions, need to get your will and family trust set up. If you need protect the business, something going on, you just got to know if you need someone to help you out with that and make sure you do your family right or yourself right. Go to Heidemann Associates, Utah.law, find the law office nearest you, and set up your free consultation. And Justin will even do a mobile, he'll do a phone call with you. He'll do a video chat as well. Go to Utah.law and let Heidemann Associates help you at Utah.law. So that brings up Maddox Madsen. Bender misses. And of course, Maddox, the starting quarterback at American Fork, wanted to play baseball his senior year with Josh Rojas and crew ahead of him. He wanted to play with his brothers as well. As that pitch misses wide. Transfer to Lehi, could do it. And Eric Madsen, his father, teaches at Lehi. And it's a whole Madsen family affair as Eric's the assistant coach for Coach Ingersoll. The 2-0 pitch in there for a called strike. Of course, Maddox's sophomore year, we saw him at the Last Chance tournament. Was a catcher for Coach Ingersoll. And he's enjoyed a heck of a season playing baseball at Lehi. Again, bases loaded, no outs. And then Madsen looks at ball 3. There, he can catch a lot of the plate, got to cross the right spot. Madsen batting .436 on the year, 32 RBIs, 7 extra base hits, and 4 home runs. The 3-1 misses up and a walk in the run, and we are tied at 1. As Gwyn Madsen comes in. That brings out a conference the coaching staff. Well, they got that. We'll take a quick break. Watching a 5A championship series. So that brings up Boston Bingham, the designated hitter. And Creer finds the zone there. He has got to feed hitters. You know, he's got to throw middle, but he has got to throw strikes. Ooh, Bingham looking for it all. And the 0-2 bounced. Not going to have a chance to come home there. One ball, 2 strikes. And Creer misses well wide. You're getting a little bit of groans to the first base side. That pitch is well wide of the plate. And now the 2-2. Chopped to short. Got it to second, not in time for first, and the go-ahead run comes across for Lehi. As I said, that was good base running out at second base to even put a little bit more of a disguise to that ball to the shortstop. There's a nice job there by J.D. Olson to stay on that ball. So the speed-up runner for Jake Olson comes in to score as that brings up Whack Christensen. As Bingham reaches on the fielder's choice. And the bender finds the heart of the plate for a called strike 1. And Creer going to step off. And the 0-1 well wide of the plate, and the count even at a ball and a strike. It's Brousseau at third, and Boston Bingham at first. As Whack Christensen. Play looking to extend the Lehi lead that they drew back-to-back walks before that fielder's choice. But 3 walks in the inning. Cannot defend a walk. There's no defense for it as the runner goes and mishandle at the plate. So now again, runners on second and third. Double play ball out of order. So you're probably going to see corners up, middles even. At least that's how we played it all week in the 6A tournament. No, third base staying back. On the 2-1, lifted deep left field. That's drifting back. And it's gone! A 3-run home run! Whack Christensen lives up to his name. And it's a 5-1 lead for the Pioneers. This ballpark plays a little differently than Miller Field. We had to take a second out of BYU. You see a ball kind of come off the bat. We had to wait just a moment. And here, thought that could get out, and then it was well out of here, into the fountain. As that's in there for a called strike. As it is 5-1. This is Bowen Ingersoll following up that party from Wack Christensen. The 1-1 from Creer. Chop back up the middle. Charged on and mishandled. Luke Affleck had that one go underneath his glove. And Bowen reaches on the error. So go E4 there for Ingersoll. And that'll bring up the center fielder, Zach Evans. So Ingersoll, a 7-hole hitter. Here's Evans at 8, and then Willis on deck, the 9, and then we'll bridge to the top of the order, potentially. Ground ball can get Olympus potentially out of the inning as that breaking pitch misses. But a 5-run first for Lehi, responding to the 1 run from Olympus. But we know the Titans got a high-powered offense, but you don't want to dig yourself too big of a hole here. We mentioned Game 1 today, Game 2 and Game 3, if necessary, tomorrow. A big hill to climb is the Andy Pettit move. Remember, it doesn't matter how he throws the ball to first. He just has to throw it to first. If you make the move to first, you have to throw it. Don't make any rule of how you throw it there. It's interesting the groans that happen at baseball games. As Evans granted time. As Evans fouls that one back to the screen. Nearly got over the top there. Count goes to ball and 2 strikes. So the scoreboard's right. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out, and a runner on first. And now the 1-2 runner going to go on first movement. Snap the second, not in time. Ingersoll is there. There's Lehi. Everything going right for the purple and white. Ingersoll, did you do that left-handed pitcher? Remember, he has to throw to first. He can't just go to second once he kicks. Go first movement, got the throw over. And Ingersoll swipes the bag on the overthrow. So now runner again in scoring position. Ball and 2 strikes and 1 out as Evans trying to speed up the umpire. And the 1-2 goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Quite the week this week weather-wise. Monday bundled up in the evening. Most of this week it is balmy and beautiful right now here at UCCU. But all you seniors out there, congratulations on your graduation. Saw so many of them at the Marriott Center on Wednesday. And hope you all have a safe Memorial Day weekend and enjoy the streams of the state championship baseball. Again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Evans fouls that one out of play, and we'll do it again. But Dane Stewart's been locked down with, or had lacrosse locked down. As his day's finishing up today. The girls' championships yesterday, boys' championships today. Alex Tumalip lives on in digital infamy with the Harriman goal with 4 seconds left. As this ball hit well on the right field line and tailing away and foul. And again, we'll stay at 2-2. But that Harriman 18-seeded Harriman Mustangs winning the 6A Boys Soccer Championship. Alta ties the state record with their 9th boys title. They got that in PKs. And we hope we have the same type of drama here in 5A and 6A baseball. The 2-2. That's bounced. It's going to advance the runner. So put the runner at third with 1 out. As Corbin Sanchez could not keep that ball in front. And it continues to go well for Lehi. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, a runner on third. And again spoiled by Evans. It's amazing to be in the baseball championship and have 2 basketball schools here. I mentioned Lehi football won the state championship, but the basketball team won it last year with Coach Quincy Lewis in his first year. Legendary Quincy. And then speaking of legendary, Matt Barnes. And the Olympus boys basketball team won the state championship this year at BYU. So we get the matchup in baseball. Not crazy, but just fun to have the common threads there. So the last 2 5A state championship basketball teams right here. That ball hit well in the center field, but going to be taken near the logo, the plate at the plate. As they cut it, and it's a sacrifice fly for Zach Evans. Didn't know initially at first if that was going to be a sacrifice, but good speed at third base, and Bowen Ingersoll shouldn't question that if she took second base on a first move. And it is now 6-1. So now the 9-hitter, Braden Willis. And Creer finds his own for called strike 1. Gets out past him, strike 2. Big thing for Creer, once he passes 35 pitches, he would not be able to return. If he throws less than 35 pitches, he can come back tomorrow on no rest. He can throw 75 pitches combined in 2 days. So he'll be able to come back and pitch tomorrow if they need him to. And we'll see how the coaching staff decides to handle that. I'm not sure where he is on his pitch count currently. He's got to be pushing it. One ball and 2 strikes. And Willis selling up back toward the screen. Going to be in play. And nice hustle by Sanchez. Be able to pull that one in for the 3rd out. But how about the crooked number from Lehi? Had to answer the top of the first run from Olympus. And they go plate 6, powered by the 3-run home run from Wack Christensen. We go to the top of the 2nd inning. Pioneers leading. You're watching the 2022 5A Baseball Championship Series. So welcome back to UCCU Ballpark. Is J.D. Olson going to lead off the top of the 2nd inning. Looks at strike 1. A 6-run first from Lehi. But Olympus, much like Salem Hills, they can score runs. If you didn't follow this 5A tournament, I think JT Wistersill is still recovering vocally from covering Salem Hills and the 12-run sixth inning that they had on Tuesday. Actually, it was Wednesday morning. And then come back at another big one, another run against Olympus. They come back there, down 11-4 in the sixth. They played at 6 runs, had the game-tying run on base and couldn't get him across. As J.D. Olson sends that ball to third, and he's retired for the first out. Nice job at third base by Braden Willis. And there is one away. But Olympus was feeling good. Drive in the run in the top of the inning. When you go give up a crooked number like that at 6, it's just deflating. They got to come back, and it's just one bat at a time. There's not a 5-run hit. It's much like in basketball, and you find that deficit. There's not going to be a 10-run bucket. Got to get guys on, got to move them, and do your job. As this ball into the inside, as Olson pitch into contact and quickly getting 2 outs. So I've got to apologize to the Olson family. Jake Olson, the starting pitcher, he's in the 2-hole. I'd misread my lineup card. Mays is the 10 and being designated hit for by Boston Bingham. If I had way of contacting the family, I apologize to them. I'll do it openly. Jessica Madsen already knows my apologies, so we'll make sure that Jake gets his due love. Is that ball inside? Counting out 2 balls and no strikes to the 9-hitter, Isaac Hodgson. That one finds his own 2 balls and a strike. Top of the order coming up, Mick Powell on deck if they can bridge. As that one misses the plate, 3-1. Can you get production out of 7, 8, 9 if you're at the plate? And as a pitcher, you've got to handle 7, 8, 9. Try to limit it to 2 to 3 base runners, and 7, 8, 9, you will be able to get the job done more times than not. But if you allow 7, 8, 9 on the bases, you got 1, 2, 3 coming up behind them, and that's where they're trying to put guys on base and let those guys at the top of the order eat. And there it is, a 9-hole walk and a bridge to Mick Paul. Mick singled and scored last inning. This ball chopped to the first base side. Brousseau has it, steps on it for the unassisted out. Olson didn't have to deal with any trouble in this one. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Lehi looking to eat. They lead 6-1. You're watching the 2022 5A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. So new pitcher on for Olympus. We'll get that name for it just momentarily. Gwyn Madsen leading things off. As we're back to the top of the order to start the inning, and that pitch misses as well. I believe it's number 10, J.D. Olson. And quickly, 3 balls and no strikes. Go from one left-hander to another. And now one in for a called strike 1. Gwyn walked and scored last inning as he lifts this one into right field. Not enough carry on the short porch. And he's retired for the first out. As Jackson Kinnersley has come into pitch now. As I'll bring up the pitcher, Jake Olson. Looking to continue to help his position as he looks at ball 1. Olsen singled and scored. As that one misses inside from Kinnersley. Now 2 balls and no strikes. It's been quite the school year for Olympus boys athletics. Talk about the basketball team winning another state championship under Coach Matt Barnes. But the swim team had as much success nationally as you could ever expect at the state of Utah. As that pitch is up in the zone, 3 balls and a strike. They had multiple, not just one, and multiple All-American swimmers. Brody Van Brocklin broke a ton of state records and was an All-American in, I believe, 5 events. That might be off on the number there. As draws the walk as they took home the boys swimming championship in a landslide. I think it broke the meet record for the most points in a single state championship meet. Absolutely spectacular. And that brings up Jackson Brousseau, the future CSU Ram. See, look at the ball 1. Brousseau walked and scored. That's the biggest thing is you can't walk hitters. Walks will come back and beat you over and over and over again. Can't play defense on a walk. Got to make guys swing the bat. Does that count even at 1-1? Cannot get him out if you walk him. And now the 1-1. Call. No. Ball. Oh, we had a balk. Got to watch a little more closely, but so balk advances the runner to second. So now a duck on the pond here for Jackson Brousseau on a 1-1 count. Make sure you come and set. And that one misses. So the count now 2 balls and a strike. Blame Kinnersley there, wanted to reset. But 2 balls and 1 strike here to Brousseau. And misses wide. I missed what he did on the block, but you can see that little stutter he does. You can totally see that. Doing things, if he doesn't fully move that, you can do all those little stuttering things as long as it's within one motion. It's always the thing, you watch certain movies, it makes my head freaking spin, but there's a certain movie that shows a pitcher set, and he sets again. That's one of the most infuriating things to watch. As that pitch is wide and Brousseau draws the walk. But you see that little part, he comes set, he has a little twitch, and sometimes with a pitcher who has that, they can use that to their advantage and not fully come to that pause and go. I didn't see if that's what he did or not. But it'll be runners on first and second and 1 out. As Brousseau is walked for the second time. And now Maddox Madsen comes to the plate. Maddox walked and was forced off, well, his speed up was. And again, just not feeling right there. Kinnersley steps off. And the runner goes. Maddox chops it to the left side. Ball handle goes short way to get Brousseau, and Maddox will reach on the fielder's choice. And Brousseau is forced off for the second out of the inning. So nice job by J.D. Olsen. So Robertson going to come speed up Maddox Madsen. And that brings up Boston Bingham. Boston reached on a fielder's choice and has a chance to pick up another run for Lehi. And there's a called strike on the outer half. And let's see if they give him a little twitch, see if they get another balk out of him. Kindersley throws over. To me, it just doesn't look overly comfortable. So no balls and one strike. 2 out, runners on the corners. And that one finds his zone for called strike 2. Don't want to mess around too much with Boston Bingham and extend the inning. Bingham drove in 25 runs. 5 home runs on the year. The 0-2, runner goes, swung through and missed, struck him out, and that will do it. Lehi threatens, but they don't play to run. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. Olympus looking to cut into deficit. You're watching the 2022 5A Championship Series on KSLSports.com. Top of the 3rd inning. As Ashton Johnson will get things started for Olympus. They trail 6-1, and Johnson sends this one back through the middle, and the leadoff man aboard. Johnson now 2 for 2 with 2 singles. And now Jacob Faust to the plate. The first baseman for the Titans. And he chops this one foul. Faust went down on strikes, as only plate appearance in the 1st inning. But looking to make something happen with the leadoff man aboard. That pitch misses. So count even and a ball and a strike. Oh, pardon me, that was 2 strikes. Drawing the groans from the Olympus faithful. And now the 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. And Faust retired for the first down of the inning. And now Luke Affleck comes to the plate. Affleck with an RBI single in the 1st inning. The chance to move the runner. To mention that 1st inning, Olsen got into trouble, then got out of it. Give up the RBI single to Affleck with 1 out. And then got the next 2 to get out of the 1st. That ball lifted down the right field line. Not as much territory over there. And that ball falls harmlessly to the field turf here at UCCU ballpark. And it is strike 2. So 0-2 with a runner on 1st. That one wide. Nick had 1 to burn, up 0-2. American Fork and Riverton coming up next in the 6A Championship Series. Of course, American Fork, the reigning 6A champions. They played Riverton earlier this year at BYU, and Riverton took care of business. But Ingersoll and crew are absolutely swinging a bat. I should be saying Josh Rojas and crew. Rojas with 2 home runs out of Miller Field, 2 2-run home runs. Nearly had a 3rd, hit it off the top of the wall on Wednesday night against Farmington. Coming off the 10-run Mercy Rule win over Farmington to get to the championship series. Riverton took care of Bingham twice. This ball hit softly to the third base side, handled cleanly but dropped it first. Brousseau could not squeeze it. Braden Willis was a good throw. Just came out of the glove on Brousseau. So now runners on first and second and one out.
The catcher, number 8, Corbin Sanchez.
So E3 moves the runners. Brings up Corbin Sanchez, the catcher. And Sanchez, third base side. Willis was right underneath him, and that'll be an infield single. That ball was hit hard, and Willis knocked it down, but it was right underneath him. Never saw it. And that'll bring out a trip to the mound from Coach Madsen. We'll take the break with them. You're watching the 2022 5A Championship Series. So conference to the mound is over and brings up Jackson Godfrey, the right fielder. The chance to do some damage for the Titans. One out, bases loaded. We'll go corners up, middles back, playing for the double play ball. Hit well in left field. It's going to plate one. Here comes the second run. The throw will be cut off, and it's a two-run single for Jackson Godfrey. Good piece of hitting by Godfrey. Doesn't need a grand slam. Hit the single, bring in 2 runs, does his job, and he cut the deficit in half. And that brings up J.D. Olson, the shortstop, with runners on first and second. This one shot back to middle. Handled at second. Throw to first. Brousseau can't get it. And that's going to bring a run around third. And it's a 6-4 ball game. As Olympus, assisted by the errors in the inning here for Lehi. So it'll be runner on first and 2 outs. As Olson reaches on the error. Won't be awarded the RBI to with Sanchez scoring, well, speed up runner scoring. But it is a 2-run ball game. But a good throw from Gwynn Madsen as that one misses the zone. And this is Tanner Jenkins, the third baseman. So count 2 balls and no strikes. Jenkins grounded out his first time up. He looks at it called strike 1. And that is in, strike 2. And draws some ire from the Olympus fans. I get it. We'll see if it stays a strike. When they always defend, is to say, hey, call both ways. If he keeps that zone, I'll defend it. Two balls, 2 strikes. Wide of the plate, count now full. Yeah, 3-2. Trying to keep the runner close. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on first for the Titans. And Tanner Jenkins, as he takes ball 4, and he'll put runners on first and second on the walk. Talking about the assists here from Lehi in the inning. Had 2 fielding errors and now a walk. Putting the tying run at second base. There's a 9-hole hitter. Isaac Hodgson comes to the plate. He reached on a walk last inning. And now one gets away from Madsen, and the runners advance. So now the game-tying run is at second base. Little base hit, and it's a brand new game here for the Titans. So a pinch runner at second. I believe that was Graydon Gassick going out to be the pinch runner. Yeah, it was Graydon Gassick, the pinch runner at second for J.D. Olson. So if the 9-hitter Hodgson can come through, you see this game tied at 6. Runners will be going on contact. The infield is back, trying to keep everything in front. And the 1-0 bounce is now 2-0. Mentioned Hodgson walked last inning. As Madsen and Olson did not on the same page. And 2 balls and no strikes. And 2 out, 2 on. Fouled off down the line. So it goes to 2-1. Top of the order coming up behind Hodgson. If he can bridge his way there. Can we talk about production 7, 8, 9? Can you get some guys on base? Give the top of the order a chance to go do damage. That pitch is wide and they count 3-1. Tell Hodgson, hey, any way on. Base hit, walk, find your way. And he lifts this one into right field. And now it's going to drop in. Here comes 1 run. The game-tying run comes as well as the throw is cut off, and we are tied at 6. The number 9 hitter with a 2 RBI single, taking the pitch where it was. And it's a brand new game. Top of the order for the Titans. Errors and walks, man. Got to make them hurt. And Olympus has done that in this inning. Hodgson takes off for second, and he is safe on the stolen base. Oh, Uncle Mo. He can switch teams in a moment. Paul 1 for 2 with the run scored. Go-ahead run at second. As he looks at ball 1, so count even at a ball and a strike. And the 1-1 hit well in the left center field. Deepest part of the ballpark, and it's going to bounce off the wall. And Olympus takes the lead on the stand-up 2-out double. And it's 7-6 Titans. Mick Paul absolutely hit that on the screws. I think we're having a little fun tonight here at UCCU Ballpark. We had Scott Haney on Tuesday night. Actually, it was Wednesday night. after his crazy come from behind win. Oh, it's Tuesday night. The ball in the left field. Don't have time to tell stories. Ashton Johnson extends the lead. And it's a 7-run third inning. And they're not done. 8-6 Titans. And Olsen going to stay out there. This is going to bring up Jacob Faust. And he looks at strike one. And the 0-1 bounce. Madsen keeps it in front. Count goes to a ball and a strike. Faust has gone down on strikes in his 2 appearances against Olsen. Looking to change that story. That's in there for strike 2. A 7-run inning thus far for Olympus. Another runner on first. Runner going to go, and it's a called strike 3. But 7 runs from Olympus. They came in down 6-1 in the third. They now lead 8-6. As we go to the bottom of the third inning, you are watching the 5A State Championship Series on KSLSports.com. Top of the 4th inning, and Olympus looking to extend on their 2-run lead. And that'll bring up Luke Affleck. And Affleck looking for a leadoff bunt, but goes through that one like Tyler Wade. Tyler Wade always tries to do that for the Angels. Very unsuccessfully. I mean, 3 out of 10 is a 300 batting average. He's below 300. No, Tyler Wade. That one lifted in the right field. As Lack Christensen pulls that one in, and you're gonna hear an on-air argument. I know you're all very enthralled with this conversation between 2 Angels fans, but Tyler Wade is different than Taylor Ward for the Angels. I know that's riveting conversation. Like Jim Rome speaking to his producer that you never get to hear from. He does it all the time. That's a off the plate. As Corbin Sanchez, the catcher, looks at ball 2. Oh, he nearly wore that one, and it's in there for a strike. I got to give it to these younger players. They stand right on top of the plate. And this one launched into left field. This might have it. No, it does not. Too high. Too high. They're taking on the warning track. If you know the movie, hit us up at GNL Rewind. And if you don't know it, please don't hit us up. I'll be very sad to know that you don't know the movie that I was just quoting. But 2 outs. And that brings up Corbin Sanchez. Or pardon me, brings up Jackson Godfrey, the right fielder. Godfrey 1 for 2 with an RBI tonight. That's in there for a called strike 1. All these guys get right on top of the line, the batter's box. That's in there for called strike 2. He crowds the plate, makes his strike zone almost disappear. And now the 0-2. Hit well. Yes, it gets through the infield. And that is a 2-out inning extending single for Jackson Godfrey. Right back through the box. And I'll bring up the shortstop, J.D. Olson. JD reached on an error and scored last inning. That's in there for a called strike one. Grounded out to the left side in his first plate appearance in the second. We want to talk about errors and things extending. I mean, Olson's ground ball was an unassisted out at second, a good throw from Madsen, and Brousseau just came off the end of his glove. And that's there for strike two. Snap down from Maddox, goes into right field, and that's going to move the runner to second base. So Lehi continuing to give gifts here on Memorial Day weekend. It was called strike two. Yeah, no balls and 2 strikes. And swung on and tip. He ticked it. And we'll keep it here. No balls and 2 strikes. The 0-2, fouled out of play. We'll do it again. And that one's up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And Bender, no. That's the mystery box corner tonight. You always tend to find one. The 2-2, strike 3. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's a 2-run lead for Olympus. You're watching the 2022 5A Championship Series. So welcome back into UCCU Ballpark. Dusty Litster with you here on Game Night Live Rewind's coverage of the 5A and 6A baseball tournaments. That ball nearly got tracked down there in foul territory. Good hustle from the first baseman, Jacob Faust. 9-1-2 due up here for the Pioneers. And it's Braden Willis at the plate. In the game, it seemed like Olympus, or probably that Lehi would have about 8 at-bats by now. But a terrific job here. Kindersley coming in and locking things down. Retired the Pioneers in order last inning. Took over. It was a 6-1 ball game in favor of the Pioneers. And he's in line for the win as that pitch swung through a miss, 1-2, and career a no decision. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he holds off there. Count even at 2-2. So it was a 6-run first inning for Lehi. They have not scored since, and that pitch is wide of the plate on the bender. The count runs full. Three balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff Willis, and he holds off. Set up outside and threw it, and that's a leadoff walk. Look, if you set up off the plate and he hits the glove, that's still a ball. Just like if he set up on the inside and he throws it on the outside corner, that's still a strike. But if you're set up off the plate and you hit your glove, it's a ball. I don't know what else to share to our fans out here. They get really mad at that. We go to the top of the order now. And Gwyn Madsen. Gonna try to keep close over at first. Third base crashing here. Ooh, called strike on the pitch. So no balls, 2 strikes. And that one bounced, 1 and 2. And timeout granted to Madsen. Gwyn walked and scored. And then last time up, he flew out to right. And the 1-2 again lifted in the shallow right field this time. Little cloud cover there, and going out to get that is Luke Affleck for the first out.
The pitcher, number 4, Jake Olson.
And I'll bring up Jake Olson. Jake singled and scored in the first. And drew a walk. He drew a walk back in the second. It's Brousseau and Madsen behind him. And that pitch wide of the plate, ball 1. Again, Braden Willis on first at the leadoff walk. And that one misses. 0-2, or probably 2-0. Oh, almost bounced right in front to throw to second, not in time. So runner in scoring position and a 3-0 count. Game time run is at the plate. And 3, 4, 5 behind him. I love the gamesmanship from Affleck. The last 2 throws a second, running off, see if he can get the guy to jump off the bag. I could think the ball went in the outfield. And now the 3-0. That is well wide of the plate and ball 4. So 2 aboard. Game time run at first. So that brings up Jackson Brousseau with a chance to do some damage. Brousseau without an official plate appearance tonight, or official at bat, as he hits this one in the right field, but foul. Jackson walked and scored in the first. And was walked in the second and forced off. Hit .431 on the year through 23 games. Drove in 29 runs. Hit 3 home runs. Come through big here. I know he had a big hit. Driving in a run in the game against Bountiful in the comeback for the Pioneers to get them to the championship series. And he looks at the breaking piece for strike 2. So no balls and 2 strikes and 1 out. That one's well wide of the plate. And the count even. I'm probably 1 and 2. And the 1-2 pitch is going to be bounced. That'll advance the runners. Both sides have had this issue here. Bouncing a breaking ball, runners on first and second. Catcher able to kind of knock it down, but allowing the runners to advance. So game time run is at second base. With 1 out, the runners have got to freeze on a line drive, see the ball through the infield. That runner at second base is going to see it through on the left side. No reason to get backdoored for the second out of the inning, as there is called strike 3. A borderline pitch there on the inside. We haven't got a feel for up, down, in, and out there. And Brousseau down on strikes. And that brings up Maddox Madsen. And Madsen fouls that one off. Mentioned Maddox, a future Boise State Bronco. And go play on the Albertsons Field turf. An outstanding quarterback as he looks at ball 1. Going to see his Mattery mates from American Fork. Fisher Ingersoll and he were an outstanding duo for the last couple of years. He'd love to come through with a base hit here. 2 outs going on contact are the runners. The 1-1. Chopped to the left side. That's going to get through. 1 comes in. Here comes the game-tying run. They'll cut it off. And it's a game-tying 2-run single for Maddox Madsen. So there's nothing quite like baseball on a big hit. Just awesome. Got a great crowd on hand tonight. And that brings up Boston Bingham. Oh, they're going to get him on, goes on first movement. So on the run down, just running back to the bag, and there it is on the exchange. So 1-3, 4-3 put out. But we are tied at 8 off the 2-run single from Maddox Madsen. We go to the top of the 5th. And Olympus coming to the plate. You're watching the 2022 5A Baseball Championship Series. So Tanner Jenkins going to lead things off for the Titans. A brand new game tied at 8. Both teams have come offensively in the moments they needed it most. Remember this, Lehi has scored 8 runs on 3 hits. That is a tough pill to swallow if you are Olympus. That's in there for a called strike 1. On the flip side, Olympus has scored 8 runs on 8 hits, but they've been assisted by 3 Lehi errors in this game. And there's a swing and a miss. Strike 2, even a count at 2-2. Jenkins grounded out in the second. Walked and scored last inning. And he looks at strike 3 here for the first out. Going to keep Olsen in there. Got to tell you, I love that. Well, a lot of his staffs and things like that, but we've got a lot more high school coaches that stick with pitchers much longer than they do at the highest level of baseball. Now, granted, there's not a bunch of metrics individuals making those calls and changes. They let him get out of it. Here's Isaac Hodgson, the designated hitter. Remember, he had the 2-run single to tie the game earlier. As that one's in there for a called strike 2. When Lehi jumped out to a 6-1 lead for Olympus, it was Hodgson's 2-run single that tied the game at 6. Top of the order coming up behind Hodgson. And 0-2 pitch. Spoiled back to the screen. But how about this? We talk about 7, 8, 9 all the time. Last inning. And they're in there for a called strike 3 on the inner half. Again, that inside part of that side of the plate today has just been, you don't know what it is, but that's 2 there. And back-to-back Ks for Jake Olson. That's his 7th strikeout of the day. So to the top of the order we go, and Mick Paul to the plate. 2 for 2 is Paul, with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Single to start the game, but he doubled to the widest part of the ballpark. Left center field here. Goes into a triangle, the deepest part. As that one misses 3-0. I love this field turf. It has the old Joe Robbie Stadium look to it. As that is a 4-pitch walk. And if you all remember, when the Marlins first came up, played at Joe Robbie Stadium, now what is a Hard Rock Stadium, they had the black clay. Coolest looking dirt. And then they had the neon blue wall in the back, but you had the corner. They called it the Bermuda Triangle. But that might do it here for Olson as Coach Ingersoll coming out to have a chat. So we'll take a quick break. You're watching the 5A State Championship Series on KSLSports.com. So now McGuire Madsen coming on to throw. They call him McGuire, but when you are someone as dense as myself, you read that and it says Gwynn because you know that all the Madsens are named after baseball players. But McGuire, I was named after the Big Mac. And remember, he can have that little hesitation. You saw that there from Madsen. He can have that hesitation on the way down. Remember, the pause has to be at the top. His motion home has to be home. So you saw that little hesitation. That's not a balk. The hesitation would be if he doesn't come fully set here. And if he doesn't complete the throwing motion home, then yeah, then you got a balk. And if I'm wrong, an umpire can let me know because I've been wrong all over the place tonight. And now the 1-1. Ooh, fortunate. That one's bounced and Brousseau able to keep it there. I want to thank JT Wistow, who's been calling the games all week long. Let me know. And, of course, he's got some great Olympus insiders. But Mick Paul going to LSU, that just warms my heart to know that someone's going to go down to the Bayou and understand how awesome Baton Rouge is. As that Bender is heading down the left field line and foul. Ashton Johnson going to go to CSI, the College of Southern Idaho, one of the best junior college programs this side of Sully Community College. And has been for years and years and years. Old teammates of mine have gone there. Troy Grundy was there. Scott Privet from Kearns. A bunch of guys gone through CSI. Always been a very, very good baseball school. Looks like LSU. And now the 1-2. Rope to the left field, or the third base side and through. That's going to bring a runner from first. He's going to have a chance to score. The throw to the plate, not in time. The RBI single to Ashton Johnson, and Mick Paul scores from first. Showing a little bit of that SEC speed. And it's 9-8, Olympus. So a walk leads to a run from Mick Paul, and the RBI single. This one to the right side, taking on the run, throw to first. In time, that is Mays Matson with the putout. But Olympus reclaims the lead 9-8 as we go to the bottom of the fifth. You're watching Game 1 of the 5A Championship Baseball Series. So Boston Bingham, the designated hitter, leading things off for the Pioneers. And he gets the benefit of the Maddox corner there. But Kinnersley's done a pretty decent job here holding down the high-powered bats of Lehi. And it counts 1-1. What, or was he saying that ball was outside? The scoreboard saying 2-0. I thought I saw him point. Yeah, 2-1. All right. So 2 balls and 1 strike. As the scoreboard operator agrees with the purple and white fans that is ball 3, 3 balls and a strike. And the 3-1 swung on and missed by Bingham. Goes to 3-2. And that's well wide of the plate. And a leadoff walk for the Pioneers. And that brings up Whack Christensen. Got to tell you, that's in the all names record. Now, granted, I've now seen his J is listed somewhere, but Whacked a 3-run home run back in the first inning. And that pitch is up. One ball and no strikes. So the runner on first base, the game time run. Is this going to come down here to the 7th inning? We like to refer to in these series the championship innings, the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Much like in boxing, you get to the championship rounds, those last 3 rounds. Things are a little tighter here. Game 1 tonight, Game 2, and potentially Game 3 tomorrow, if necessary, Game 3. We'll be back here tomorrow, 11 o'clock. And the 2-0 to Christensen. Mystery Corner lives on, 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes to Christensen. And again, is that Boggle that has the dice in the little bubble and you pop it and it goes? It's my feel on the read on the inner part of the plate at the moment. 3-1 wide, and it's back-to-back walks. Go-ahead run aboard for Lehi. And pinch hitter is going to have a conversation at the mound first. So when they do that, we'll take a quick break. You're watching the 5A Championship Series. So conference is over. The pinch hitting is Kobe Felix. So Kobe Felix pinch hitting for Bowen Ingersoll. As Felix squares the bunt, the ball's going to get away, and we've seen this all evening. Bouncing a pitch with runners on first and second. and advancing the runners. So advanced both runners into scoring position. And Felix, who came on obviously to bunt, got a good, pretty good handle on the stats reported. He scored a run through 11 games. But we'll see. We'll let him swing away here. No outs, runners in scoring position. I think you go safety squeeze. That one's bounced. 2 balls and no strikes. We are now in the 7-8-9. Ingersoll was a 7 hitter. Then Evans on deck. Willis in the hole. And then to the top of the order. And the 2-0. Back to the screen. 2-1. Still a great count here to Felix. 2 balls, 1 strike. They got to stay away from walks. He's got to come at him. And now 2-1. Hits on the screws at second base. And going to double him off. Boston Bingham went on contact. If you've watched the 6-8 tournament, I was about to say it, freeze on the line. Runner's going to freeze on the line, drive through the infield. Got to see it through. Bingham does not, and he is doubled off at third. So 2 outs and a runner on second. So 4-5 put out for out number 2. As Wack Christensen's at second, and Zach Evans comes to the plate. And he gets inside that pitch and well foul for the first strike. Now, you young baseball players, you got to remember that. Line drive through the infield. You got to see that ball through. You're going to score no matter what. Bingham fellows asleep at the wheel. And the running error. We'll see if that comes back to hurt. As Evans ground ball to the right side. Handled by Affleck. And Affleck had caught the line drive and threw the guy out at third base to double him up. He gets all 3 putouts in the inning. Big defensive play. Olympus leads 9-8. We go to the top of the 6th inning. You're watching Game 1 of the 5A Championship Series. Top of the 6th inning and a 1-run lead for Olympus. We'll start with the second baseman, Luke Affleck, who was the man of the bottom of the 5th inning. He has an RBI single from earlier in the game as he looks at strike 1 on the inner half. An RBI single in the first. Reached on air and scored in the third. Flew out to right his last time up. As that one is well off the plate inside. Not quite the mystery box corner. Knew that one was a ball. Affleck's giving a little bit more room on the inside part of the box there. As they got that one in on the hands. And it's going to fall in. A little dying quail leadoff single there for Luke Affleck. Don't have the rubber of the bat. So leadoff man aboard. That brings up Corbin Sanchez, the catcher. One dying quail, one Texas leaguer, a ball with eyes. Hit us up. What baseball movie quote is that from? Hit us up at GNL Rewind. As that's in there for a called strike. On Sanchez, who infield single, hit a rocket to third that was knocked down by Braden Willis. But Willis had was underneath him. He couldn't find it. Back in that long-lasting inning, back in the third. So he looks at ball 1. A warm, overcast evening here in Orem. Finally feels like summer. It was a cold, windy spring that dampened our baseball coverage. As that one stays inside. Said it hit him. Umpire agreed that it hit him. Coach Ingersoll is going to come out and ask him. Didn't hear anything, didn't see it, but he took off immediately. But what Ingersoll might argue is if he's out over the plate, I'm saying hit him up top. So interesting.
That brings up the right fielder. Number 6, Jackson Godfrey.
But, I mean, I'll give this Sanchez. He knew immediately. He didn't hesitate. He took off. So Jackson Godfrey, the right fielder, comes up. Been a good bat today. Now one up. As McGuire, Madsen took over. For Olson. That 1-0 lifted out of play. Godfrey had an RBI single in the third, and a single out or in the his last appearance in the fourth. And the 1-1, that one's up in the zone. 2 balls and a strike. And a big swing and a miss. A little late movement on that pitch from Madsen. Evens the count at 2-2. And Godfrey granted time. Godfrey's looking to get the ball to the outfield to score a run. Runner's going to freeze on the line drive, see the ball through the infield. And he swings through that one, strike 3.
Shortstop, number 10, J.D. Olson.
I bring up J.D. Olson. As Olson swings through that one for strike 1. So again, runners on first and second and 1 out. Double play ball in order on the ground ball. And let's well wide at the plate. Again, American Fork and Riverton going to be coming up next. Game was scheduled for 7 o'clock as there is a big swing and a miss. Strike 2 to J.D. Olson. J.D. 0 for 3 today. He reached down on strikes and ground out to third base in his other plate appearance. So the brothers Madsen is a little mixed up on the signs. As McGuire stepped off. And now the 1-2. Bounced it. Maddox knocks it down. And now the 2-2. Check swing. He did not go. And the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out and 2 on. Madsen's pitch swung on and missed for the second out of the inning. Back and got him. And I'll bring up Tanner Jenkins. the number 8 hitter. He squares the bunt with the third baseman back. Come on, the charge, and going to be safe. Everybody's safe. Bases loaded. Bringing up Isaac Hodgson. Go E5 on that play. So charging in was Willis. It was going to be tight throw to first.
Designated hitter, number 15, Isaac Hodgson.
And that brings up Isaac Hodgson, the designated hitter. He came up big back in the third inning with a 2-run single. Could do the same here and extend the lead for Olympus. Off-speed pitch in there for a called strike. And now the 0-1. They held off. Evens the count of the ball and a strike. And now the 1-1. That one's well wide the plate as well. 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 from Madsen. Called strike 2. Two big pitches coming up potentially. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Lehi trying to end the inning right here. Olympus looking to extend the inning and the lead. Chopper back to Madsen. McGuire on to first and gets out of the jam. Olympus threatens, but can't plate an extra run. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Lehi trails 9-8. You're watching Game 1 of the 5A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. 9-1-2 due up for Lehi. As Willis looking to get a little leadoff bunt, but back into the screen as he will lead things off. As it is Willis, the 9-hole hitter, then Gwyn Madsen, Jake Olson. Let's see if they can extend from there. Lehi trailing by 1 in Game 1 of the best-of-3 championship series as he looks at ball 1. Braden flew out to the catcher in the first. He walked and scored in the 4th. Kinnersley's done a very good job since coming in relief of Creer as that one swung on a miss for strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gonna try to pitch him away and misses. Evens the count at 2-2. Hits this one down the right field line, and it's going to fall in. Rounds first, heading for second. And a leadoff double. Great way to start out of the 9-hole hitter. And a big ovation from this sizable Lehi crowd as we go to the top of the order with the tying run in scoring position. That brings up big Mac Madsen. Or as his family calls him, Gwy. Thus I read it Gwyn, but McGuire Madsen. I know Mama Madsen's following along. Papa Madsen coaching from a very well-known spot in this ballpark. His brother Mick had an outstanding year this year for UVU. And the 0-1. Kearsley, I think he liked the pitch. Sometimes you'll say yes to a sign, like, go ahead and step off. McGuire walked and scored in the first. Flew out to right in the second. Flew out to shallow right field to the second baseman. Back in the 4th. And come up big here. Corners up, middle's even. Gonna flash the bunt. And leave it there. Ball and a strike. Tough to bunt a breaking ball. You want to keep your hands above the ball and deaden it with the hands. You'd love to get yourself to a 2-1, 2-0, 2-1 counts. The bunt, always good. You usually get a fastball. And there is the fastball on the 1-1. He chopped it at the plate. The bunt is like Pedro Serrano. Straight ball, like it very much. But curveball, bat's afraid. Here we go. Ball and 2 strikes to McGuire Madsen. Fastball swung on and swung through for strike 1. Or for out number 1. As that will bring up Jake Olson.
The shortstop, number 4, Jake Olson.
Olson was a starting pitcher. Now playing shortstop with Madsen coming to the mound. And it's in there for a called strike. Well, Olson going a little bit of the Mike Trout hands. Doesn't do the foot lift that Trouty does. The 0-1 off the plate. Goes to a ball and a strike. I'm going to give it through the rest of the year. You can see a lot more of the Taylor Ward flat bat shoulder look. And now the 1-1. Well inside all the way to the screen. And advance the runner to third on the pass ball. So golden opportunity here for Lehi. The job from Olson, find the way to get him home any way you can. Anything out of the infield, try to score him. Ball to the right side, get it done. With 1 out, he's got a freeze on a line drive. On the left side, see it through the infield. The 2-1. And we're even at 2-2. And now the 2-2. Lifted, shallow right field. Might not be deep enough. Oh, you're going to test this arm. Yeah, I'm going to draw the throw to see if you can get it past him. But in no way you are testing the LSU-bound Mick Paul. So F8 and 2 away for the Pioneers. So that brings up Jackson Brousseau. Double ones looking to come through here. And for Kinnersley, continue to keep things on lockdown as he's pitched very, very well since coming in the second inning. Inherited a 6-1 deficit. He's given up 2 runs that tied the game at 8. But he's done a nice job, though. And the 1-0 off the plate, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on third. The game tying run 90 feet away as that one's bounced in there. 3 balls and no strikes. Maddox Madsen is on deck, and Boston Bingham behind him if they get there. Rousseau walked and scored in the first, walked in the second, went down on strikes last inning. And the 3-0 misses ball 4. So runners on the corners, and that'll bring it up Maddox Madsen. So one stud quarterback to another. And that's going to draw a visit to the mound. We'll see if we got a pitch and change or not. We'll be right back. Bottom of the 6th inning, tying run, 90 feet away. Just bring back so you know they're going to bring Kinnersley, remove Kinnersley. And they're saying, hey, they went 2 visits. So just leaving it here, Coach Madsen came out immediately saying, hey, went out for 2 coach visit. So we'll see what the conversation is. So Eric Madsen came out to talk with the umpires because he had the assistant coach come out initially, come talk to Kinnersley. They were still having the conversation when another coach came out and made the change. He's saying, where are they? But you see crew chief having the conversation with Madsen, explaining, saying no, that they didn't break the rule. Now, NFHS rules would be different than the college baseball rules that Eric Madsen's coached under for years. So a little bit of change. So 22 coming on the pitch for Olympus, and that is Tanner Heaps. So they're actually going to have a little bit of a meeting of the minds here after the conversation, Madsen and the crew chief. But if officials weren't aware of it or didn't see it, I don't know that you're going to change anything. And I also don't know what the penalty is at this point. We got some officials just below us, but I don't see. I'm guessing Trent Allred, who I was going to ask, is already getting ready with me in this game. But not going to change anything right now. Sam Pei is the pitcher. And that brings up Maddox Madsen. Runners on the corners, down 1. In the bottom of the 6th inning. So left side of the infield back. 2 outs going to go on contact. And the first right-handed pitcher of the day for Olympus. And Madsen offers it the first pitch. They've thrown 2 lefties, started with Creer and then Kinnersley. Did a very good job. And now hands the ball to Pei. The 0-1 runner goes. They throw it half. They were trying double steal. Ball's thrown up the line. And there comes the game time run. Might bring in 2. Rounding third, coming on home. And the double steal works. Lehi takes the lead on the mistake from Olympus. Execute exactly how they wanted to. Lehi was going double steal. He went part way. Olympus had their first and third situation on, which is throw back the pitcher to see if he can pick a guy off at third. They throw it to third up the line. And 2 runs come in, and Lehi takes the lead. Come back and fires that one in for a strike. They count now ball and 2 strikes. And Madsen with a 2-out single. And the craziest part of it is that would have scored just 1 run had Olympus executed the throw. And the reason why I knew it was a double steal was the runner heading to second base pulled up. Whenever you see that, you know they're trying to draw the throw to get him in a pickle. So runner on. And Boston Bingham, the designated hitter, coming to the plate. The Madsen single would have just plated 1. It'd probably be runners on the corners. Most likely runners on first and second. The Boston Bingham comes to the plate with a runner on first and 2 outs. Looks at ball 1. And no speed up there for Madsen. Little surprised at that. That ball hit a mile into the air. And going to be a can of corn there for Mick Paul. Center fielder camps underneath it. But Lehi takes the lead going to the top of the 7th inning. Last inning of game 1. Here we go. You're watching game 1 of the 5A Championship Series on KSLSports.com. Well, how about it for Olympus? Down 1 in their last at bat, and they're leading off with Mick Paul, the LSU-bound center fielder. He has an in-the-park home run earlier this week. We know he's got some speed to spare as he looks at strike 1 on the outer part of the plate. And the 0-1 from Madsen. And the count even to the ball and a strike. Totally saw what Maddox was thinking there is, hey, if you got that corner called, let's find another way to get there. But Paul trying to take away the inner part of the plate. McGuire, Bender, no. Got to get on top of that one, and he kind of fell behind it. So on the day, Paul single and scored in the first, doubles and scored in the third, walked and scored in the 5th. And he ropes this one to left field, looking to tie things up, but he won't have enough on it. That's a long, scary out to left field. If that's Ingersoll back out there, he pulls it in for the first out of the inning. So we go to Ashton Johnson with 1 out. Johnson's had a good day from the plate as well as he looks at strike 1. Johnson singled in the first. He singled and scored in the third, and also had his second at-bat in that inning, had an RBI single in 2 at-bats in the third. And then in the 5th, he had an RBI single. I mean, it has been a productive day for the future product of College of Southern Idaho as he looks at strike 2 on the inner part of the plate. McGuire Madsen looking to get through the 2 scariest bats here. And the 1-2 bounced it. And that pitch lifted out of play. I want to clarify something that happened last inning. I talked about Eric Madsen, had the conversation during the pitching change. And it was a difference in college rule and high school rule. In college, you cannot have 2 plate appearance or 2 mound visits to the same batter. And that's what he was having the conversation about. But in high school, you get 3 visits in the inning, and it didn't matter. So we want to make sure we clarified that. And there's a swing and a miss, strike 3 to Ashton Johnson for the 2nd out of the inning. Olympus down to their final out today. Lehi looking to take game 1 of this best-of-3 series. Brings up Jacob Faust. We'll be back here for game 2 tomorrow. And a game 3 if necessary. First pitch, strike. As the Lehi faithful on their feet. You good? Hey. And that one hit to the left side. Olsen with it on to first. Got him! What a play by Olsen! And what a game 1! But just getting to that by Olsen was something else, but to make the throw in time, what a play. And Lehi takes game 1, 10-9. In a game that has everything you'd want in a championship game. And no, we got potentially 2 more. We'll take it. Game 1 goes to Lehi with a 10-9 victory. Our Heidemann Associates player of the game. Man, there's so many different guys you go with for Olympus, or pardon me, for Lehi. We're going to go with Black Christian, the 3-run home run, got things started. I know it was really early in the game and so much stuff happened after it. But it was a big first inning that got things going, really put Lehi in striking distance. I mean, we could go Mick Paul, for heaven's sakes, go Ashton Johnson from Olympus. But our Heidemann Associates player of the game, go Lack Christensen. What a game. Lehi takes game 1, 10-9. Game 2 tomorrow right here on KSLSports.com. We'll be back with it. For Vince Francis, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us for watching Game Night Live Rewind's coverage of the 2022 5A Championship Baseball Series on KSLSports.com. Brought to you by Heidemann and Associates and Western Governors University. Make 2022 the year of you. Back with Game 1 of the 6A Championship Series, AFN Riverton, in about 30 minutes.